Hey, Shalom. I want to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the elders, great millstone. Much love and respect to all you brothers out there doing the work of sincerity and truth. I'm just coming back with another video real quick, just going into Luke chapter 21, 25 down to 28. I want to go into a couple of words here. I've done a video on this verse before, but I want to go back into it, especially after the things that have been going on. And basically, we're in like the aftermath and just seeing through the spirit, weighing and evaluating the people, as the times progress, and seeing, just determining and evaluating the times because we know it's getting closer, more things are getting more, um, you know, catastrophic and reaching to the four corners of the earth. And like we always say, I've always said, there's uh, no matter what city, town, state, part of the world you're in, you're going to be hit, you're going to be touched with something, and you're going to be tried. So this is Luke 21 and 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Okay, so uh, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh the Father, who the world calls God or Yahweh, and his Son Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Jesus or Christ or Yeshua. Um, those are the true names, and that's what I'm calling them by the Paleo Hebrew, the Lashon Kadash, Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. They've given us the word, the comforter, the scriptures, um, the blueprint, the forerunner, giving us the insight of the future, whether it of the past, because the past determines and also determines the future. History repeats itself, but the elect are the ones that are trying to not only are they trying, but they are going to be the ones that are going to reverse all that and put things right through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So in the meantime, this is what's going on in the earth. Distress of nations with perplexity, and men's hearts, their minds failing them for fear, okay? Because of what they're seeing, what they're witnessing, whether it be financial, whether it be uh, by way of food, a shortage of food, a shortage of water, um, not able to find a job, um, you know, all different types of things that we know we've all pretty much experienced. Those are the things that are going on, man, that are increasing along with the catastrophic events. Just the most recent one that just passed was this winter freeze, which was a big deal. Okay, there was people that died in it. People homes were damaged. There's just a major effect that is going on in the earth right now that is touching every part of business. It's I'm pretty sure there's people out there that they're they're not even they're probably sick and tired of all the disasters that are going on and them having to do all this paperwork, push out more money. It's just I know 100% these people are fed up. It's not even about, oh, we're gonna make money. It's not like that no more. It's to the point where people are exhausted, man. You know what I'm saying? These people out here are exhausted, sick and tired, wore out. You know, they ain't got nothing going for themselves. They're just, that's why everybody's seeing everybody all over just wanting to go back to like nature, to uh taking care of themselves. But it's hard because you have to work, you have to pay bills, you have to provide. You gotta have insurance, all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's it's we're in a bad time, man. You know. So before I go any further, I'm gonna go here in verse 25. I'm gonna go into that word. See what the first one I want to go into is distress. All right. So the outline of biblical uses for distress, it says a holding together. Okay, that's what people tell you, when they start sensing or seeing that you're about to, blow up, or you're showing anxiety or stress. They tell you, hey, hold it together, man. Calm down, right? A narrowing, the contracting part of a way, metaphor for straits, distress, or anguish. So that's exactly what's going on, a, a distress. Okay, which you go down here to the Strong's definition, it says from G4912, restraint, that is figuratively anxiety. Okay, so this is what's going on in the earth right now, heavy anxiety. Okay, that's why people are man, I see it everywhere. It's gotten like before when I first came into the truth, it was there. You could feel and see the anger, the hate, the envy, the jealousy. uh you can feel, people were, but now, like, it was like at a lesser degree. Now it's at a high degree, man. It's like every single person is on a certain level of anxiety, and anxiety, it can either break you or it can make you do some wild, something bad, become physical, your anger, or it can break you down to where you're just depressed, sad, no energy. um that's where we're at right now, at a high level, the highest I've ever seen it and felt. Okay. Some others brothers may have seen it and felt it within their city or whatever area they live in, but this is global, man. This is worldwide. There ain't no more nice people, so-called nice people. Uh, People are becoming more and more angry, more evil, more wicked. They're you can just feel it, man. Okay. So this is what that word of stress going into is anxiety. Let's go over here to the root. It says to hold together any whole lest it fall to pieces or something fall away from it. And that's what happens. You got to hold yourself together, because if not, you're going to fall to pieces. Okay, you're going to crumble. Okay. It says to hold together with constraint, to compress, to press together with the hand, to hold one's ears, to shut the heavens that it may not rain, to press on every side. And that's what's going on. You're being pressed. This earth is being pressed on every side, man. Okay. Like I said, mentioned, financial, food crisis, water crisis. You got your water in your cities that are going bad because of the freeze, or prior to that, they're finding poison or chemicals that are contaminated within the water. Um, there's just so much stuff that's going on. Contaminated food. You got certain bacteria that are life threatening to people once you eat them, make you very sick. Y'all already know the certain ones that are common. Y'all can look them up if y'all want to know it, any more. I'm not gonna go into every single terminology and try to sound like I'm on some type of level. You got guys that try to bring out every single try to sound eloquent and stuff like that. But y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, and you got animals out here that are suffering, they're dying, they're being touched. The birds, um, in every part, man, every part of this world, every industry, every business. Look at the what's going on with the COVID-19, how it hit all the people with all the all it's the highest it's ever been with the unemployment. Okay, so everything and everywhere, everybody is being touched, being pressed, and they're experiencing the highest level of anxiety that's ever been upon the face of the earth. Okay, so that's what that word distress goes back to. Okay, and we know that the word straits, let me pick it up, is basically a difficulty. It's difficult times, man. Right? See the straight channel, a bad, difficult situation, and that's exactly what we're in. We're in a bad and a difficult situation. There's people out there that have they don't have nowhere to go. Like I said, their house may have been destroyed by the way of the flood, and I mean the ice, caving in their roofs, and some people laugh at that shit. Hey, it's all fun and games until it happens to you. You know what I'm saying? We're not in the time to be laughing right now. because we haven't made it out. We ain't on the chariots yet. You know what I'm saying? So calm down. It says a narrow passage of water connecting two seas. That's a form of a strait. But here, number two, it says use in reference to a situation characterized by a specified degree of trouble or difficulty, and that's what it is. We're at a high degree of difficulty, anxiety, anger, hate, jealousy, envy. Okay, every form of crime is being performed in the earth right now, and it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. All right, so I want to look up that word distress, and it says the distress of nations. Okay, so all families of the earth, everybody, the Edomites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, Ishmaelites, they're all experiencing all these different things, man. Israel. It says with perplexities, look up the word perplexity. So the outline of biblical use, it says a state of one who is in perplexity, right? Strong's definition from the same as G639, a state of quandary. Quandary? Let's look up that word. It says a dilemma, a state of perplexity of or uncertainty over what to do in a difficult situation. So if people are in a dilemma, they don't know what to do, what to choose, which way to go, who to look to. They people have lost their faith. They don't believe in the churches, so then they're experiencing all this stuff, but then they don't know if they should go back to a church because they don't know if they want to change. They don't know if they want to go through all that stuff again. Then their pride rises up back inside them, so they're going to continue is thinking that the earth is going to go back to where it was, you know and that's what this place is in, man. It's in a big great state of confusion. Okay, a great state of wickedness, man. I don't know other word to express it. you know this is what this world has come to, man. Perplexity. This place is perplexed. They don't know where to turn. They don't know what to do. you know Uh, so here in the outline of biblical use says to be without resources, to be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt, not to know which way to turn. And that's exactly what it is. They don't. Some people are left without certain resources, man. But guess what, man? Even if you lack certain resources, doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Not everybody's gonna have everything. You know what I'm saying? Y'all better start getting used to it. That's all I gotta say. You better start getting used to not having water every day, not being able to take showers every day. You better be used to that shit. You better be used to not eating every day, because that it's gonna come where you ain't gonna beg. You ain't gonna have the luxuries, and you're gonna see. You're gonna be. Well, in the meantime, when when everything was good, accessible to you, you dogging, clowning on people. But when you're put through it, how you gonna move? How you gonna respond to that? You know what I'm saying? So people are perplexed, and the Lord told us this was going to happen. You know, the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai told us that these things were going to come, and they're going to get worse. It's not going to get any lighter. It's not going to get easier. Okay, it's not. It says to be at a loss with oneself, be in doubt. And a lot of people are in doubt. They're in doubt of the government. They're in doubt of the their jobs, unemployment. They don't the president. They're in doubt of every single thing. They don't know who to believe in anymore. And that was their whole program. Their whole plan was to put you in that state of mind. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly where they wanted you to be. To not to have the power to be solid, to be stable. All right. They wanted you to be in a state of confusion, perplexity. But this is ultimately through the working of Yahweh Shema Shai, but he works through men to accomplish that. And that's exactly what they've done to you people, man. That's why the Lord tells us to trust in him, not to trust in man, to put our faith in the gospel, you know, to believe in this word. Matter of fact, get one from the sword right here. This is Colossians chapter 2, um, verse 4. And this I say, lest any man should beguile you with enticing words. For though I be absent in flesh, yet I am with you in spirit, joying in beholding your order, and the steadfastness of your faith in Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. As you have therefore received Yahweh Shai, the Lord, so walk you in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith as you have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahweh Shai Mashiach. You see? So that is the foundation. This is the foundation that Yahweh Bashem Shai has given us by way of the men of the Lord and the highways and the byways, that was revealed to us by the Holy Spirit, man. You know, not by no preacher in these churches, and they follow after their own heart. They have these so-called testimonies of being called into the gospel, but they have no breakdowns. They have nothing. It's all about uh their past life or being in prison and shit like that, like no edification at all, breaking down the scriptures, not going into the words. This is 2 Timothy's chapter 2, verse 18, who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. Let me start up at 2 Timothy 2 and 17. Let me start at verse 15. Matter of fact, let me start at verse 14, Salaki. This is 2 Timothy 2 and 14. Of these things put them in remembrance, charging them before the Lord that they strive not about words to no profit, but to the subverting of the hearers. Study to show thyself approved unto the Most High, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. But shun profane and vain babblings, for they will increase unto more ungodliness, and their word will eat as doth a canker, of whom is Hymenaeus and Philetus, who concerning the truth have erred, saying that the resurrection is past already, and overthrow the faith of some. Now, and that is speaking about, certain men that crept in unawares, and they subvert certain men that had the truth. But also, you got people out here, with the politicians. You got your so-called men that are called by the Lord, that are trying to preach and teach. They're doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing, getting you following these other doctrines, philosophies of men, ideologies, and you're buying into it, and it's subverting you, it's converting you, or corrupting you, man. But it says, nevertheless, the foundation of the Most High stand sure. So that's the foundation that you have to be built upon, the Word. All right, the Holy Spirit, the Scriptures, which you know as the Bible. All right, it says, nevertheless, the foundation of the Most High stand sure, having this seal, the Lord knoweth them that are His, and let everyone that nameth the name of Yahweh Shemashia depart from iniquity. Okay, so that's what you have to do, man. Being able to reside and be taken care of by way of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua in these times, man. These times are they're not good, man, and it's not getting no better. You can, the whole atmosphere in the earth has changed, okay, and the government is doing exactly what they wanted. You know what I'm saying? And you got a lot of you people in a state of confusion. You don't know where to go, man. You don't know what to do. And let's see. This is Isaiah 29 and 15. It says, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as a potter's clay, Salakia. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? Okay. So because of your turning your things upside down, the Lord's He's gonna truly turn it upside down. He's gonna turn your whole world upside down, man. Okay, everything that you thought was real, everything you thought was the truth, it's gonna be turned upside down into a state of confusion, of perplexity, not knowing what to do. Right? So let's go to the Roman numeral 3. Not to know how to decide or what to do, to be perplexed. And that's exactly the word government means mind control. Govern, control, mente is mind. So the government has controlled your mind. That's why a lot of you are gonna flee to them. You're gonna flee to Adawamia, okay? And you're gonna bow down to him. You're gonna take whatever it is that he tells you to take. Strong's definition, it says G4198, to have no way out. That is, be at a loss mentally. Wow. It says to have no way out, because the strongest thing that we have is our mind, man. And I mean, that's what the Lord gave us, the 7 faculties of the mind, and to utilize those faculties by way of the Spirit to guide us, to lead us, and to make proper decision, discretion, using discretion, judgment, analyzing, speaking when we need to speak regarding life, so a lot of people don't have that because they occupy themselves in the world, and they indulge in their flesh. They weren't occupied in what we had to say and what the men of the Lord and the highways and the Bibles were telling them, you know? So they have no way out. It's like in that movie, Get Out. So these people are sunk deep. Esau has put a heavy spell on you where you're sunken deep, man, in darkness, engulfed in great darkness. And right now, you people don't even realize that there's light being put out right now. There's a separation of darkness and light that's going on right now. It's like in the time of Moses, man. You know, it's not like it's gonna be in that time where it's gonna be darkness on y'all side and then there's gonna be light on our side. It's happening individually, or it is in groups of people are being. They have the light, and some people are engulfed in darkness. And how are you gonna know that is by way of their actions, and who's being affected by way of what I was reading here. So I'm done with that. So it says to have no way out. But before I go, let's get this one. This is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction. So this is basically like a command. It's a warning, man. Hey, arise and depart, for this is not your rest. Get out. So the ones that have the ability, that the Lord is going to give the ability to do that, they're going to get out. The ones that can't, they have no way out. That is to be at a loss mentally. So you've been defeated. You've been infiltrated, and you've been taken over. You've been bewitched. You've been hypnotized. Okay, so that's what it is, man. It's a scary ass thing, man. Let's go back. So that's perplexity. So it says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, right? So there's signs everywhere that are going on in the earth, um, to as a measuring stick to show us that, hey, this is getting closer. Let me get this other one. See if I can find it. Yeah. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 28. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaidens in those days will I pour out my spirit. And I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. That's why you got a lot of these blood moons. You got these solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, um, pink moons. All these different other names that they got for these certain types of moons that are going on in the Earth, man. Just within 2020, there was a lot. 2019, 18, there was a lot of different signs within revolving around the moon or that involved the moon. Okay, and you gotta. There's a lot of stuff that's going on, man. There's a lot of fires. The fires that were going on in California. You got this great freeze that happened and here in North America, and even over there somewhere in the Middle East, they hadn't seen snow in over 50 years. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of stuff that's going on, man, and this is prophesied. This is not no coincidence. This is not just something that was just came out of nowhere. And these people are perplexed about this. They're in distress. Um, let's get this one. Second Ezra 9 and 6. Even so, the times also the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. Making sure I didn't skip nothing. I could have started from the top of 9 and 1, but I wanted to get straight to the point. Okay. So there's wonderful and powerful works that are ending in effects and signs, man, here on the earth right now. That's our measuring stick. That's what's happening. Okay, and it says men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. So you got certain people that are looking after the things that are going on in the earth, man. They're trying to figure out what's going on, why is it happening? They're blaming it on the government, stuff like this. When really, what it is, man, the Lord is orchestrated. He's doing it. The Lord, who the world calls Jesus and God, they're the ones that are doing it, man. Point blank, period. There's no other explanation. Okay. You can try to find a conspiracy, whatever. This is not a conspiracy. This is actually going down because it's prophesied in the scripture that this was going to happen. To a certain degree, it is conspiracies, but this is biblical, man. This is a biblical proportion of the things that are going on at a great multitude. This ain't simultaneously happening sporadically in certain areas, like in small increments of time or long periods, increments of time. This is happening in short periods of time, man, all over the globe. Okay, and men's hearts are failing now. Their mind. The word heart goes back to the Hebrew word uh lab, meaning the mind, not the heart that pumps blood. Let's go here real quick just to see what it says here. This is the outline biblical use the breath to breathe out life, expire, to faint or swoon away, heart failing, uh to breathe out, that is faint. Okay, so your breath, you know what I'm saying, like your that's your, I guess here in this particular one is referring to their breath, but um it says men's hearts failing them for fear. Okay, so they're like losing their breath, but really what it is that their heart, their mind, the lob is what's uh has lost. Like I brought out that perplexity, that a loss of mentality, a loss of mental. Which what is your mentality is supposed to bring forth confidence, fortitude, all right, and strength. Okay, but here it says to expire. Basically, when you die, you give up the spirit, the ghost, and you expire. And that's also going to happen too. But right now, it's not. People are not just dropping dead. Right now, people are just in great fear right now. And for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So I want to go into that word powers. The outline of biblical use, it says strength, power, ability. Um, Inherent power, power residing in a thing by virtue or its nature, or which a person or thing exerts and puts forth. Power for performing miracles, moral power, and excellency of soul, the power and influence which belong to riches and wealth. The power and influence which belong to riches and wealth, power and resource arising from numbers, power consisting in and resting upon armies, forces, and hosts. Right? So these powers that be are being shaken, man. They're also being put in a state of perplexity and distress, you know, because that's what man do. Man does that. They put their trust in flesh and their weaponry. Let me get this one here in Isaiah. It's a lot. This is Isaiah 31 and 1. It says, woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because they are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. See? So they're putting their trust in their power. What their power is their armies, their forces, their hosts, okay? Their riches and their wealth, their moral power, their excellency of soul, setting themselves as high as the Most High, calling themselves God, you know, or they're saying that they are the chosen people of the Lord, okay? It goes on to say in verse 2, yet he also yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will rise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. So Yahweh Shem Shai is going to bring these the shaking. He's going to shake this earth, man. He's going to shake the people, okay? Matter of fact, let me line this one up real quick before I forget because it came to me earlier and it's coming back again after I lost it. Okay, hold that right there. It says, uh, Isaiah 31 and 3, now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horse is flesh and not spirit. See, because we know that God and the spirit, that's of energy and power. They're not that. They're of their carnality. They're carnal. They're of the physical realm, which means that it can be destroyed. It can be brought down. It can lose fuel. It can be punctured. It could explode. Okay, so their strength, their power, their armies, their wealth, their moral power, their excellency of who they are as men, they're being brought down. They're being shaken. Okay, it says, um, when the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hopeless shall fall down, and they shall fall, and they shall fail together. Okay, so they're gonna fail together. That's what's going on in the earth right now, man. These people that are not part of the elect, that are not chosen, that are not. That's exactly what's gonna happen, man. Okay. See, it says Strong's definition, G14 and 10. Force, literally or figuratively, especially miraculous power, usually by implication, a miracle itself. Okay, so by their miracles, by way of their missiles, their weaponry, their power, whether it be through riches or monetary gain, is being shaken. Okay. In verse 27, and then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. So Yahweh, they're gonna see that coming with Yahweh Bashem Shai from the heavens, man. It says, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Meaning it's getting closer to salvation. The end. This is Matthew 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. So again, that's what's happening, man. These people are being shook. The Lord is shaking the earth right now, man. Okay, by way of his the natural disasters, the catastrophic events that are going on the earth. Okay, these are the things that he uses to bring forth judgment, and stuff like that. That's just what it is. It's scary and it sucks, but that's what it is. That's the reality. These cold days that like here in Texas, it's all up and down. It's like some days will be cold, and then the next day will be hot as real hot. Then it'll get cold again, and then it's hot for a long period of time, and then it'll just drop. And that's the way the weather here in Texas is. And I was telling somebody, I was like, man, the winters that we've been experiencing for the past 10, 15 years it wasn't really a winter time. This is winter. The frozen, the road being everything snowed out, frost, all that shit. That's a real winter. That's what winter is really like. You know what I'm saying? And it stops everything. Everything just stops. So people are not used to having a real winter. Okay. Um, and it's winter time is not a time to be happy and stuff like that. People want to associate the snow and as being, oh, it's beautiful. It looks, it's different, it's nice, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's part of the one of the Lord's creation. It's a part of his glory, it's to be glorified and praised by that. But it's just like rain. People think thunder and rain and all that stuff is good, but it's really not, man. It's destruction. He used rain to flood the people at one time, but it's good in the sense that it brings forth, water to the rivers, the lakes, and stuff like that. It gives water to the animals, to us, to vegetation. But really, it's destructive. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it says like here in verse 29, and the powers of the heaven shall be shaken. That's all these different these higher ups, these celebrities, these people, and this common average people out here that think they're somebody, they're being brought low. You know. Verse 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So all the families of the earth are going to mourn. Okay, it don't mean that it's not, it don't matter who you are. Every family on the earth, you're not exempt from the judgment of Yahweh Bashim Shai that's coming, man. Okay, even Israel is going to see Israel, the Israelites, the true Israel, true Israelites. I ain't talking about the people over there in Israel that claim themselves to be Israel. Um, Let me see. This is Second Esdras chapter 6, verse 20. I'm gonna start at 18 or verse 18 and skip through some certain verses. And it is said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and visit them that dwell upon the earth, and I will begin to make inquisition of them, that they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. Okay, and that's what Yahweh Bashim Shai is doing right now, because he's coming back for his people. He's gonna make a grand entrance, and before that, um, the men on the highways and the byways, they're prophesying, they're telling the people, hey, this is what's gonna come, this is what's happening. Get ready, just get ready, you know, because the Creator of the earth is about to return, and he's not coming back happy. He's coming back with destruction and at the same time deliverance. But the deliverance is going only to the elect. That's what's happening. He's coming back for his bride. He likened it to a wedding. Okay, and his bride being Israel, and he's the bridegroom. Going back to Second Esdras 6, and verse 20, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. And that's what he's showing. He's showing these tokens by way of the men on the highways and byways going out, preaching, prophesying, breaking down the scriptures, telling you the true names of the Lord, telling you who salvation pertains to, who they are. You know, that's what's being, because what this current existing world, you know, that's ruled by certain individuals, Adawamion, and the other rest of the Gawayam, is about to be fade away. It's fading away, and it's going to be renewed by way of Yasha'Allah. It says, the book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see altogether. That's right, and that's what's happening. All these, the Bible is finally open. The seals have been broken, the breakdowns have been revealed, the understanding has been revealed, and it's being opened before the firmament, the heavens. And it said, and they shall see altogether, and that's what happened to the elect. The elect are seeing eye to eye. Okay, it says, I'm going to jump down to verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And that's what's going on, man. Like, You had these grocery stores going empty during the time of COVID when they did the shutdown, and it happened all over again through the freeze. And still through the process of before the freeze, they were still finding a lot of aisles that were empty. They're still empty with, toilet paper, paper towels. It's still going on, man. Even before the freeze, certain things they were, rationing out certain foods from the back of the warehouse, the grocery stores, because people are just buying it up, man. People are just buying it up, taking more than what they need, and the shelves are empty. So when they restock early in the morning. You got to get there to get it, because if not, they're only gonna put out so much, and then they wait the next day until the next shipment comes in, because they already know certain people are just gonna buy it all up. So it's already happening, man. But it's gonna come to a point where it's gonna be fully like that. It's gonna be like in that movie, what's it called? Oh man, it slipped my mind. It's the one with Woody Harrelson and that white kid, Zombie Land, and they're going, trying to find food. All the grocery stores were just they were gone. Everything was taken out. Woody Harrelson was trying to look for that Twinkie. He just wanted a Twinkie. You know what I'm saying? You got people out here that they're gonna be looking for certain things. You ain't gonna be able to find it no more, man. You know, you're gonna be trying to find something. You ain't ever gonna find it, because it's done. People are experiencing. This is just the beginning. It's gonna get worse, man. It's gonna get way worse. That's why I was saying you better get used to it. Better get used to drinking water. You know what I'm saying? Because you people out there that are just used to drinking sodas and uh, Kool-Aid, tea, Gatorade, Red Bulls, Monsters, all that BS, man, you ain't gonna have that, man. And there's people that they can't even drink water. I've seen people that you just know that, hey, they need to drink water, and then they're drinking it, but they can't really. You could just see it on them that it's hard for them to swallow that water. But anyway, it says, verse 23, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and 3 hours they shall not run. See, and look at the water out here. The water froze. There was no running water. The water was now there's telling people to boil their water because of the bacteria, whatever it goes, because it being stagnant. There was no flow, you know. So that's what it is, man. That's what it's, man. I'm gonna read that one again. It says, uh, the springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. That's what happened. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. Now, see, the elect are going to be the ones that are going to see the destruction. They're going to see the downfall of this place. Everybody else is going to be destroyed, and they're not going to be the ones sitting down watching everything go down like that. It says, and the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. And that's what's going on. These people are Their hearts are failing them. Their minds are failing them. Their confidence, everything is being transformed and changed into another meaning. Meaning that you're not even a man or a woman. You're damn brainwashed, walking bird brain, man. You know, brain dead. And that's exactly how they wanted you to be. That's your answer. If you're in that state of perplexity, distress, and not knowing where to turn, who to look to, you don't know what's going on, or you don't know what to believe anymore. That had nothing to do with your decision making. It was everything that you were watching, everything that you were putting your power, your energy to, and it was not beneficial, and it did that. That was the outcome. Ultimately it was through the higher powers that be. That was their whole agenda. That way, whenever he initiates or implements that thing, that RFID, you're gonna take it, man. All right. So going back to Matthew 24 and 31, and he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one heaven of the earth to the other. See. And that's what's gonna happen. You know, the chariots are gonna come. He's gonna gather up his elect. You know that it man. This time is crazy, man. It's a crazy time, man. Very crazy. And a lot of people, they're afraid to talk about it because they uh they don't want it to come. You know, you got some people that are like they wanted to come, and then you got a lot of people that don't want it to come, man. And they're afraid. They're afraid of it. They don't want to speak about it. They don't want to talk about it. They just want things to go back to normal. That's all they keep saying. It's want things to go back to normal. If this when this stuff goes back to normal, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this, do that. Oh man, it ain't ever gonna be the same, man. It ain't. It's not. We're in uncertain times, but the elect, we know what time we're in. We know what's coming. We know what to expect. Okay, the only thing that we're doing different from y'all is that we're truly watching. We're actually watching, and we know that something else is gonna come. People are thinking 2020 was bad. 2021 is gonna get worse, man. Okay, so yeah, man, the elect are gonna be taken up. They're gonna, as it said right here in 31, and he shall send his angels with great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together the elect from the four winds, from one heaven of the from one end of heaven to the other. This is Revelations 11 and 12. And they heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. That's what's going to happen, man. That's where that ultimate breakdown is really going to come in the mentality of a lot of people when they see the men, women, and children taken away, man, and they're going to escape the disaster that's coming to this place. So I just wanted to jump back onto that, man. You know, like I said, that we always bring scriptures out, repetitively, doing videos on certain things, repetitively. You know, as I stated, I'm, I've been into that scripture there in Luke 21. So I wanted to go back, revisit it again. You know, you don't want to be put in the state of perplexity, man, into that state of distress, anxiety, to where it bugs you out. You want to stay firm, confident, and it happens. You know, it's gonna happen to those that are it that is gonna, Lord willing, be the strongest of the most. You know, because you have to experience certain things. You have to. It's part of the growth. It's part of. No one is exempt. Okay, the only thing you're gonna be exempt from, Lord willing, is death. Even though we all died, through the reincarnate, we come back, but we all have to go through certain things, man. Some people don't never experience certain emotions or feelings or certain situations. They don't know how to react or respond to it. And when it actually happens, no telling what it does to your mind, man. No telling what it's gonna do to your mind. You just want to, for me, man, you know what I'm saying? Like the way I speak for myself. The way I've learned is by experiences and going through it. And if it hurts me and it's breaking me down, my only end result of it always has to be I have to come out of it. I have to, you know. I have to, man. Like there's times where I want to give up, you know what I'm saying? But it's always been inside of me. You can't give up, so you don't want to be found in that kind of messed up mentality. Like a lot of these people, they're in that messed up mentality. And you don't want pride to grow up in you, because that's another thing that can happen too, pride and lacking the fear of the Lord and stuff like that. And all these people, they don't have the fear of the Lord. So so yeah, man, I want to keep running my mouth, but I'm gonna leave it with that. I hope it was, edifying. But with that, shalom.